morning, and thank you very much for joining us. We have been talking about innovations, transformations, how do we get things going in the right way? Are we investing in the right technologies? Is this the right investment to do now? Okay, those are some of the things that we have heard from yesterday. If you look at the reality today, we have two worlds. There's a digital world and there's a physical world. And in every one of your businesses, you experience that, and you always look for opportunities to see how to converge the two. And the moment we start looking at convergence of both these worlds, okay, that's where you have the connectivity. And that's going to be the context of the discussion that we'll be having now, which is connecting people, places, and things. And leveraging the infrastructure that you deploy for carrying data, for doing compute, okay, which is essential for doing more than that. Okay. Having said that, these are some of the experiences that we look at delivering across the world. Okay. It could be redefining the experience as a fan in a stadium. So this is where we started our journey with Levi Stadium. And if you look back on last year's Ryder Cup, which happened in France, which is totally outdoor, we were able to connect the audience and engage the audience digitally in all their social media activities, everything that was happening, and make sure that their network connectivity as well as their experiences in those places were not compromised. Because if you can delight your customers, the end users, or even employees within your organization, you are able to deliver a lot better productivity and a lot better experience. We also have compute, the large format high performance computes, which are used by medical organizations for building cures for diseases like Alzheimer's, which are very, very complex. We work with Purdue University to leverage IoT to enable better farming. So how do I make sure that I give the right amount of water, right amount of fertilizers, and not overdo, so that my plants are rich in nutrients and they are also rich in the content that they are supposed to deliver. And with NASA, we work with them on the supercompute, okay, so that we can accelerate their projects. In all this, what we see is the whole interaction is going to be edge-centric. There's a lot of activity that's happening in the edge. And cloud is something that we cannot ignore, because the content or the data in all the computes will be happening in the cloud. And there are some very good advantages in having the computation happening in the cloud, because that becomes independent of my data center. I can access that information from anywhere. And with a lot of data getting generated, everything is going to be data driven. So these are the three pillars where we have built our strategy so that we are able to exploit and we are able to enable you to leverage these three components effectively. And this is where we see the strength. Rather than talking about the technologies, what we offer, I want to change my pace and talk about some of the use cases and some of the customers, okay, who are using our technologies to deliver new experiences. Okay, because experience is what we look forward, and experience is something that needs to get delivered for all verticals. It could be a workplace where you're looking at your own office space being automated, your own office space being smarter, or it could be an educational institution, a college or a school, where we are looking at safety and better interaction with the students. It could be retail stores, where I want to make sure that I'm not losing any sale. I'm converting every customer who is coming in and making sure that they are buying things in the store, okay, rather than looking at something over here and then going and buying something elsewhere. Hotels, I want to make sure that the experience for the person who is coming in is rich. And hospitals, this is where we go, okay, when we need some help. And we cannot be hunting for help or searching for help in these places. So if you look at all these places, we touch them almost every day in our life. If we can improve the interactions in any of these at any point of time, okay, there's going to be a lot of benefits coming back to us as consumers and also as technologists in doing better interactions with our customers and our employees. Okay, let's take some examples. So when I look at healthcare, it's primarily delivering a positive patient experience is important. And also engaging my right specialists, okay, my doctors, and making sure that they are available, they are able to use their time effectively, okay, and not waiting for a patient. Because a lot of times things get lost where, okay, a record which has to get sent to the doctor or an appointment which has to get sent to a doctor is not there at the right time, or the information that's required by the doctor is not there, or you have a nurse who is not attending to a patient at a ward. So can we look at measuring all the aspects and connecting these people effectively using technology? So this is where the location services inside the building is going to be able to give you the Google or Uber-like momentum inside the building. So I use the network, and since the network is present everywhere, the wireless network, I use that to enable blue dot navigation within the building. And the person can find where the doctor is located or where a particular service is located. Let's say the hospital schedules some 5 tests. I need to go and wait in each line for the test. Instead of that, can I bring in a workflow which says, there's a line over here, there are 5 people waiting, you finish this other test, and by then this is going to get cleared, so that I'm just walking through the hospital to complete this activity. Security for devices in the hospital, like your ECG monitors, and a lot of Windows devices are there. Okay, they are all, may not be as secure as the other devices that you have, which are used in the corporate world. Can we improve the security for them by profiling them and knowing what their purpose is? And then you also have shops, you also have souvenirs. Okay, people come and buy gift and to give it to the patient or somebody else. Can I make it easier for them to find these shops or find these retail elements in the hospital? And ultimately look at how do I improve my operations, overall operations for the organization itself. So by eliminating the friction that's there in the workflows, I can bring in a lot more efficiencies and be able to see a lot more patients. And at the same time, my doctors are going to be more efficient because they are able to work and get their work done without having to wait or without having to get somebody else to do something for them. So this is in the hospital, but at the same time, when I take some of these elements, I can apply it to the other industries as well. My next example is going to be an office space. So in an office space, typical challenge that we have is we don't have enough meeting rooms. We cannot find the meeting room available. But at the same time, as I walk past every meeting room, it's all booked. Nobody is sitting there. This was the Uber situation that we had. You had taxis who were waiting. You had people who were waiting. So can we get this meeting room connected? Okay. We tried a lot of things in the past. Okay. If you look at our own place, okay, HPE, we have all the meeting rooms available in our Exchange so that I can make my reservation using Outlook and then get it done. But the reality is, if a person doesn't show up in the meeting 10 minutes after the start of the meeting, I want to be able to release that meeting room and make sure that that's available for somebody else. Can we do that? So that your meeting rooms are available on demand. And same is true with your hot desks. So gone are the times where I have a fixed set of desks for people. Okay, we want to have mobility. And if you look at the generation Gen Z and Gen Mobile employees whom we have now, they all want to be able to work from anywhere, sit anywhere, and do anything, everything that they want. So can we get some hot mobile seats which can be booked for the duration what's required and make my complete network plug and play? and I have visitors coming in. I onboard the visitors, okay, using a tablet. There's a notification sent to the host saying that you have this person who is, okay, at the reception, and host is going to approve it. There's a badge that's issued, and I have a mobile app which is going to navigate this guest to my seat. That brings in a lot of efficiency, and then it also brings in a new feel, okay, with your visitor, because ultimately, okay, they are there to interact with you and then create something new. Retail is other place. This is one place where, okay, we are dependent on the store managers and people in the store to give us the insights so that my marketing team and my other teams are aware of what's going on. Can I change that? Okay, wherein I have sensors in the store, okay, which is going to give me the dwell time of every customer who is my loyal customer, okay, to find out how much time they spent in the store in front of a product. Did they buy the product? We have been doing a lot of this in the web. Can I take the web experience and bring it into the store? The other challenge I see is I walk into a store, I'm looking at a high-end product. I want an expert to explain what the product does. Getting that expert to talk to me is a challenge because that person may not be available at that moment. So can I, with push of a button, make the person, okay, meet me? Because there's a good possibility that he is there somewhere, but he doesn't know that I need help. And then at the same time, I'm here talking to somebody else who doesn't know where he is. Okay? So these are the common things that we have seen. And we want to see how you can leverage the infrastructure, which is the wireless network and wired network that you have in the network, okay, to actually get analytical data that you can process with the rest of the tools that you already have, okay, and then get the physical insight from the store. I had 15 people in my store today, and my cash counter had about 10 people waiting in the line at the same time. Okay, so can I double my cash counter so that the wait time is reduced? Those are the insights that you get from this. The next part is going to be manufacturing. Okay, this is where, okay, we have had technologies which have worked for last 15 years, 20 years. You can't change a lot of things in those places. But at the same time, I need to focus on employee safety. I need to focus on worker safety. And this is where, okay, we leverage IoT. But at the same time, IoT is not very safe. I need to make sure that IoT is safely onboarded and it gels well with the IT/OT strategy that I have. Because if we look at Industry 4.0, there's a lot of information that's there. There's a lot of myth that's there. There's a lot of promotions that are there. Okay, how do I absorb what is there? How do I distill that and get something out so that I can have a plan, okay, in order to get my site efficiency improved, okay, and at the same time, my investments are done in the right way, and then safety is not compromised. So we invest in forklifts. We invest in a lot of mechanical equipment which keep moving around in the project area or production area. Do I know what's the utilization of all these equipment? The reality is, okay, yes, it's there somewhere, but how many minutes in the day it was used for what product? Okay, can I make these elements, okay, be reservable on the fly so that they are not owned by a project, but they are a pool of resources, and depending on what is required when, those resources are delivered, and then there's a person who is doing the job so that I improve the efficiency. And this is an idea which my CFO is going to like because that's going to deliver cost savings. Okay. Airport is very, very complex because it's a mix of retail, hospitality, operations. Think of everything that we do in our life. It's all there in the airport. Okay. And over there, can I bring in simplicity so that as I walk into the airport, there's a message that comes to me saying that you are now, okay, taking this flight. Here's the direction to your gate or the check-in counter. You finish check-in, and then you get a notification saying that there's a longer queue for security in this area, so you use the alternate one. Okay? And then from there, you also get a notification saying that you have about 10 minutes before the boarding starts. Do you want to grab a quick bite to eat? And all these interactions you're doing with the mobile. And this is something that you can do in the Gatwick Airport or in Orlando Airport or Rio de Janeiro. All these places, because they are all using Aruba products and our partner ecosystem secure solution to bring in this efficiency. And at the same time, from an airport operations perspective, there's absolute safety here because you know what's going on and you know how many passengers are there where, in case you want to evacuate or you want to bring in some security measures somewhere, you know how many people are impacted. Okay? Stadiums, we normally go to a cricket stadium or a football stadium to watch the match. Can I take that experience to a new level? Wherein there are retail elements like food and other things which are served. Can I get those things served into the seat? And the bigger challenge that I have in the large venues is where my mobile connectivity hardly works. You don't have enough base station capacity to cover them. So I converge all those calls into wireless. So recently, in one of the Michigan games, we had about 27 terabytes of data being moved in 3 hours' time on wireless using SIM authentication. So no audience or the fans who were there, they didn't feel that they had to log into the network. The moment they walked into the stadium, they were switched from the cell base station to wireless, and all their interactions on the cellular phone was happening on the wireless. So this is a technology that we can enable. And by the way, this technology can be used in office space or anywhere else where you have lack of cellular capability, and then you don't want to deploy DAS. Okay. From credentials perspective, Aruba has been rated #1 in Gartner. And then in the 6 critical capabilities that they are ranking, we are #1 in 5 of the 6. Forrester New Wave report is about how do you create newer applications. So all the Aruba access point work as IoT platform. They are built with wireless 6, Wi-Fi 6. They are also built with IoT enablers like your Bluetooth 5 and then Zigbee. So I don't need to have multiple radios. I don't need to have multiple technologies deployed. I reuse what's there, okay, and deliver the experiences. Okay. So thank you very much for your time. And we are there in the very end, okay, in the very first booth as soon as you enter. So we are glad to work with you, talk to you, and then meet you and see how we can create newer experiences for you, your employees, and your customers. Okay, thank you.